Hello all, welcome back to New Hope Tarot, where we will be doing your full moon reading for April 5th going into April 6th. This is a pick a card, and even though it is for this specific season, you can certainly use it any full moon. All right, so it is timeless per se. So during this full moon reading, we're going to check out what will be blooming this season for you. So we are going to be getting some cards out here and find out what we got going on for you. Okay. So you can go ahead and skip forward to your pile if you don't want to watch the shuffling and all of that. Okay. And for this particular reading, I will not be using the stones. I'm going to be just using the selenite to remove negativities. All right, and empower the full moon that much more. So to go over this full moon, I'm going to express that the, as I mentioned, the full moon is happening on April 5th leading into April 6th. So it's actually going to be happening on April 6th at 12:34 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. And this full moon is called the pink moon. And the reason it's called the pink moon is because, let me one moment, I'm just going to get these cards. The reason why it's called the pink moon is because it's named after the phlox wildflower that blooms in spring. And phlox, it's spelled P-H-L-O-X. It is the Greek word for flame. So very much like a phoenix that can rise from its ashes, we will be looking into what new things will be occurring this season. And not only that, it happens at 12:34 a.m. And 12:34 is the new number 1, 2, 3, 4. It does empower this full moon that much more because the number 1, 2, 3, 4 aligns with personal growth, and it syncs you up to where your life is headed. All right, so we're going to find out what new things will be occurring this season for you. What can we do to work with that energy and advice? All right. This is the card. No, they want one more. Okay. This reading was inspired by, of course, this full moon. I was not planning on doing a pick a card. This particular, oh, look at this. Exactly how much I need. I was not going to do a pick a card this particular week, but Spirit said, no, you're doing it. So here I am doing it. And I would recommend, you certainly don't have to, but I do recommend that you wear pink. It's not obligatory. Oh, you get 2 cards. 2 cards fell. Oh, no. Sorry. I didn't see them. I covered them up. I hope you didn't see them. Yes. No. They said no. Yes. No. Okay. Are we done then? We're done. Okay. All right. I do not have any stones to go along with these. Well, I do. I have plenty of stones to go along with these. Okay, I was just going to use selenite. Okay, so I will use selenite. And then they're also, they're saying pick stones. You know, what can I tell you? Here? Okay. This one? This one. Okay, here. This one. Okay. Here are your piles. Pick the pile that you want. This is what pile 1 stone looks like. And I believe this is called the, I want to say it's leopard skin, but I'm not 100% certain. I have been very clear to everybody that I'm not good with the names of stones or what their properties are. I just go with the energy that they give me and pray to goodness that it goes along with what the cards say and what their meanings are, because I mean, and they always do, but I'm not going to pretend and I'm not going to lie to you guys and say that I know what these stones are. I know that this is rose quartz, pile number 3. Pile number 2 is ametrine. And I want to say this is leopard something or other. I forget what it is, but I was really drawn to it when I saw it. It just reminded me of my mother. So I got it. Anyways, those are your stones, and I added the selenite anyways. So hello, pile number 1. I have looked up your stone, and it is the leopard skin jasper. All right, I love this stone. It's just so pretty. It reminds me of a butterfly. See all the workings of it? It's just so pretty. Anyways, that is your stone. And your stone, it has the ability to absorb negative energy because it has a very specific balancing power. It's funny, my mother was a Gemini and she was very, very balanced, and maybe that's why I was drawn to it. But yes. Anyways, it has the balancing powers to balance out your yin yang energies, and it also allows you to align body with the mind and the spirit. That's what, when I did a quick search on that, that's what I got. It also boosts your physical strength. So that's I feel like the major bulk of it all. I feel like it also encourages your sense of honesty to yourself so that you can see things clearly with your mind and be honest about that with your own self. Okay, let's take a look at your card, the moon. So I dropped the camera down a little bit so that you're able to see the cards a little bit more clearly. We have the moon. So it looks like something new that's that it's on its way to you is something that's mysterious, something that's an unknown. We'll find out more here with the cards, but we'll see what happens here. Okay, how am I going to do this? I'm going to do this because I want to do the tarot last. How do we want to do this? We have moderation. Oh, I want this here. Yep, right there. Yeah, I feel like this is how I want it. All right, we have moderation, dragon's lair, take risk, rhino spirit. Here, here. Okay, this is how they want it. Okay, let's take a look at your cards. The moon. Funny that we're talking about the full moon, and there's the full moon right there. We have moderation. Is there something you know shouldn't be eaten? Oh, is there something you know you shouldn't be eating? Try to eat mindfully and healthily, although the fairies say that a little bit of what you fancy is fine. And it's funny because there's a circle right here and it kind of looks like the full moon, doesn't it? Look. Interesting. Okay. All right, we have Dragon's Lair. Take risk. Oh, this one's always fun because of the glare. Take risk. See, there it is. With a mountain goat. Rhino spirit, overcome any obstacle. We have the Four of Swords. The Fountain. Two of Wands. Okay, so for you, what I'm seeing here is that something that might be coming your way that you're not aware of with this moon, and it might have something to do with how you eat, or not necessarily what you eat, but possibly just something that maybe you're doing in overabundance, right? Maybe you need to just scale it back a little bit. With this take risk here and Dragon's Lair and overcoming any obstacle with Rhino Spirit, I'm getting a very strong sense that you need to follow your instincts here with this Dragon Lair. Pay attention to your surroundings, not just, possibly what you eat, but just overall what your surroundings are. And then remember I said that this is about, this was the last thing I said, and I wasn't going to say it, but Spirit kept urging me to say it, so I said it, about being honest with yourself, about seeing the truth. And I feel like that's what this Dragon Lair is also saying, which is about listening to yourself before just doing something, right? And before doing something, balance out what those risks are before you decide that you're going to charge ahead. All right, this is what I'm seeing here. Pay attention to the surroundings. Do you think it's something that you're able to do? So for instance, it doesn't necessarily have to do with food. This could be in love. This could be in a work situation. This could be in, purchasing a home, whatever it is. Just because you want something doesn't necessarily mean that it's right for you. So you have to look at all of its all of its hills and valleys to find out what their pros and cons are. Because what I'm seeing here with this, both the moon and this dragon's lair, right? The moon holds a lot of mystery, but it also sheds a lot of light, right? Specifically in the dark. And if you need to go somewhere in the dark, this allows you to get some sort of guidance, right? It allows you um, to walk with a lit path because the moon is there to help you along the way. So what I'm seeing with these two cards in particular is there's good and bad things in a specific situation, well, in all situations, but in particular, a situation that's going to come up that you might want, right? It might be something that you've been wanting for some time. It might be something that, you know, you have kept your eye on. And this is saying, it's fine. Look, it's fine. Look at the hill. You see, do you see the similarities? The peaks. It's fine to take a risk and because you're able to overcome any obstacle here as long as your intuition is lit up and you know the truth of it, right? So let's say, for instance, you are trying to purchase a home and you know that the budget might be tight for a little bit, but you know that you're able to swing it as long as you stay within your tight budget. If you think the budget is going to be too tight, but you have to be honest with yourself about it, because that's what we talked about with this leopard skin. If you feel like it's going to be too restrictive and you might not necessarily stay in moderation, then it might be too risky, right? But if you feel that it's a situation that you are able to manage and you are able to moderate the expenses, then you're able to overcome any obstacle, is what this is saying, right? So, and your advice here, so that's how you can work with this energy. The advice here, this is saying, with the four of swords, the fountain, and the two of wands, this is saying, before just jumping into any decision making, take a rest, think about it, really hone in with yourself. Because the fountain, not only is this the fountain like a constant regeneration, but this is really being in tune with mind, body, and soul, being in constant flow with spirit, being constant flow with yourself. Again, very, very similar to this, right? We're trying to balance our energies out. And this is saying, take a rest before making this decision, because the two of wands can be a decision, right? It is what you want. Here's the world in your hand. It is what you want, but you have a decision that you have to make, and it's an important decision. But this is saying, rest before, just stop and recoup your energies, recover yourself, and get in tune with spirit and with yourself, and really get to the core of what it is you want. And is this situation going to really be the best situation for you? Or do you think that there's something out there that might be slightly better? Because slightly okay and possible might not be enough for you. Okay? Or it might be enough. I don't know. But that's a decision you have to make once you've really taken a step back to consider all of the thoughts and touch base with yourself and spirit before making this decision. Okay? Because remember, the full moon is here at 12:34, and it aligns with your personal growth, and it syncs you up with your life and where it's headed. So this is talking about Are you in sync with your life? Is this decision going to sync you up with your life, with your choices, where you want to go moving forward? Okay, that's what we're talking about here. We are going to, no, they want this one. I'm going to get some additional information here. Is there any additional advice we can give to call number one? Shine. May you be a lighthouse. They want this one too. Depth. May you immerse and go deeper. Okay. What I'm getting with these two cards is the fact that don't listen to outsiders. You be the lighthouse. You be your own lighthouse. It's very similar to this. Don't go in darkness and anywhere, because going in darkness and not seeing the truth will give you more obstacles than what you are needing to have. And we're trying to have a smoother season. So be your own lighthouse. Really pay attention and be in flow with yourself and with spirit. And in order to do that, you need to go deeper. Before diving in and just jumping in without knowing the depths of something, really learn the pros and cons of a situation before you take that risk. If you think that it's a calculated risk and you're capable of doing it, then you're able to overcome the obstacle. However, if after really being in tune with it, then and you don't think that it's good, then take a step back. But you have to remove emotion from it. Remove that hope, remove that fear. Spirit is also saying, I'm not a dietitian, I'm not a physician, I'm not anything of that sort, but they're saying that this leopard skin also has to do with the spine, the back, okay? The spine or the back, and also muscles. So an unknown might be something to do with that. If you're having back pains or muscle pain, you might want to go see your physician. That did not come up in the reading, but take it how it resonates. Spirit did mention that. Okay, Spirit is saying that with the back and muscles, be careful of, doing something that might be risky in regards to those aspects, your back and your, okay. Did you see that just slide out? Just, it slid out. All right, well, we're taking it because they want it. That was very interesting. Wow. Wow. Okay, so immediately, what I am getting is that you need to weigh out the options upon a relationship. You could be dealing with a Taurus. I believe Hierophant is Taurus. Anyways, the point is that it could be any sign. This is general, so the Hierophant here could be a person that you're dealing with. And do you see, or you could be the Hierophant here, but I have a feeling that this is the other person. And I feel like you, the Empress, need to really safeguard your nest here. Do you see the sun and the moon? Not that the sun is good and the moon is bad. It isn't that, but it's about seeing both dark and light of a situation just because it might appear to be good, right? That's a castle. However, it's also a dragon's lair, you know? It's both. And not everything is exactly as it seems. So, and it's funny how we have Rhino Spirit, and it's like charge ahead, and here we have the Chariot, like it's okay to move forward. So what I'm seeing here is that if this has to do with you weighing out your options in regards to this relationship, but you're still protecting your assets, then go ahead and charge forward with it. That's what I'm seeing here. After you've really looked into it and you've dived deeper into the situation and you have seen both pros and cons, light and day, right? And you are aligned because we're seeing some chakras right here. You are aligned and you are still protecting your assets. Then charge forward, move ahead. Remember I talked about balancing your yin and yang? Two different colors, balancing everything out, right? Balancing everything out. Okay. If this has to do with a home, right? A Hierophant can be something that it is traditional, whether it's school, learning, a home, whatever, something that you see as, that you consider traditional. This is saying, weigh the options about all of it. All of it. So for instance, you see something on sale that says, oh, there's a castle for sale. You're like, what? There's a castle for sale? And I'm able to purchase it because it's within my budget, right? Really take a deep look into all of it. Because yes, it could say it's a castle, but it won't say that it's a dragon's lair. It won't say that it's a haunted castle. It won't say that, there was a murder. I'm not saying any of this is happening. This is just like absolutely dramatic effect here. But the point is that don't see something just through rose-colored glasses because it's something that you potentially want. You also have to really consider all of the options, all of the possibilities. And after you've weighed all of it and you've seen all of it for what it is, and it's still something that intrigues you and you feel is going to be good for you in the long run, and you're able to protect your assets, right? Because this Empress always reminds me of a mixture between the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. And yet she's the Empress, which is, she's abundant, she's smart, she's intuitive, right? She is the embodiment of these two people, right? The Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. If you're able to protect everything after you've weighed everything and you've gone inside and you're following your intuition and your gut is saying, yes, this is a good move, then by all means, move forward. If you cannot protect your assets and you feel like it's going to be at a loss, do not charge forward. But I have a feeling that what's coming up this particular season is actually going to be positive. But just because we all believe that it's going to be positive, it doesn't necessarily mean that it will be. Okay, so we still have to do our due diligence and make sure that we are being wise about our finances and our steps moving forward, so we can secure a solid foundation moving forward. All right, my darling ones, this was your reading for pile number 1. I hope this did resonate. If it did, please leave a comment. And until we meet again, have a great one. Don't forget to wear pink. Hello, pile number 2. You have chosen the AMETRINE stone. And if you've watched my channel before, you know that the AMETRINE stone is a combination of 2 different stones, the citrine and the amethyst. And this particular stone, as you, I don't know if I said it in the intro or not. I honestly don't remember. I do know that I said it in pile number 1's. I searched because I can't remember what these stones do. That's something I have to work on. But this particular stone has to do, I had to look it up. So what this particular stone does is a couple of different things. I do know that it helps with physical and mental, like balancing of that. Like physical, mental, emotional, like balancing all of that. So for sure, I knew that. But I feel that this might not necessarily have to do with that. This has to do with the balancing of the masculine energies of citrine and the feminine energies of the amethyst, and finding that balance within yourself, that yin yang harmony that we all have. We all have masculine and feminine energies within us. All right. And sometimes we can get a little out of whack. So let's see how that correlates here with the reading. But also, Spirit told me during the pile number 1 to talk about the health factors of the citrine, not the citrine, the AMETRINE, and it alleviates allergies and digestive disorders. So if you have any allergies or digestive disorders, that might be something to kind of pay attention during this particular season. I am not a physician, so don't take my word for it. Just pay attention to your own body, okay? Also has to do with the nervous system. So anxieties, immune systems. When we have high anxiety, our immune system tends to deplete. Okay, so let's see what we have here. The 7 of Pentacles. And as I mentioned to pile number 1, I lowered the camera so that you're able to see the cards better. No, not these. Okay, this one first. 7 of Pentacles, temptation. Solitude. Strength. White Raven Spirit. I'm sorry, in my mind, I'm like, Raven's Claw, and I thought Harry Potter, so I am so sorry. That's what happened here. The Moon. No, here? Okay. The Emperor and the Empress. Okay. That's what they want. Okay, very good. All right. 7 of Pentacles. It's funny that we have the Moon. Pile number 1 got the Moon as their primary card, and we are dealing with a full moon. So very interesting. So you might resonate with pile number 1, but I don't know yet because I don't know what we got going on yet. So with the 7 of Pentacles and what things are occurring this particular season, I feel like you're trying to work on getting even more abundance is what I'm seeing here. Because the 7 of Pentacles, evidently, she's got a garden, right? She's able to pluck these pentacles. She's got a resource. But I feel like this particular card is saying that, do I have enough? I think I want more, is what I'm seeing here with this particular. I mean, she's got a cow. She's got a herd of cows. I mean, she's got, you know what I mean? She's got plenty. but she's still looking for something that she's missing, is what I'm seeing here. Perhaps you are looking for something that fulfills you internally. You know, maybe with this Emperor and Empress, it could be a counterpart, but it could be about a job, something that fulfills you internally, fulfills you. Maybe the job that you have does bring you the abundance, but it doesn't bring you that balance that you're seeking, that brings you harmony and peace, right? We'll see what we have with the remainder of the cards. We have temptation, and it says, are you in denial about an unhealthy habit, perhaps one that makes you feel guilty? This fairy says you have the power to overcome temptation or whatever its guise. You might definitely resonate with pile number one. They had a very similar message, but it was up in this section. Very interesting. What I'm getting here is that what you think you have on your mind. So, for instance, this person is, you know, she's like looking at this basket, says, do I have enough? Knowing that she has plenty, right? It's not like she's with lack, but it's like you almost feel guilty for wanting more with this. Don't deny yourself. If you want something that you don't have, why should you feel guilty about it? There's nothing wrong with that. Spirit is saying if there is something that, let's say it's an unhealthy habit. Let's say you, because this does say unhealthy habit. I'm really not seeing anything that's unhealthy here, but we'll look at the other cards, but Spirit is pointing out the word unhealthy. So this could be something that, you know, maybe you're not eating the appropriate foods. Maybe you keep attracting people that, you know, are energy suckers with this snake here, right? Maybe they appear fine and then all of a sudden they decide that, you know, they turn on you. This is saying you're able to overcome and turn over a new leaf if those are the kind of habits that you want. Try to focus on healthy habits, not unhealthy ones. Go for things that you want as long as it suits you for your betterment, okay? As long as it brings you harmony, that's fine. If you are in a place of business and you feel guilty because you're wanting to try to start something new on your own or go for a new job and you feel guilty about that, don't deny yourself. That could, in some people's minds, that could be unhealthy because they're like, oh, no, you've got to build your finances. No, you can't just walk away from a real steady job that brings you real steady money, right? This is saying you have the power to overcome the temptation of other people's guides. If it's something that you want, and you feel that it is good for you, then there's no harm in trying. Doesn't mean that you have to jump out completely out of something, right? You don't necessarily have to leave your 9-to-5 job. You can certainly ask for a leave of absence for a little bit and try your hand at something. You can try to do something on the weekends, you know, to see if this is something that you might feel more aligned with, whatever that looks like for you. And this is saying there's a way, there's a workaround, is what this is saying. All right. All right. How can we work with this? We have solitude, strength, and trusted magic. Remember, I said sometimes you have to kind of stand alone and be decisive. I don't know if I said it here, if I said it in Power One, I don't recall, but it's like you have to do a little reflection and not necessarily listen to other people's guides or opinion. This is about reflecting upon yourself and what your needs are, what your wants are, don't just go by what the light of the moon is, right? Don't be blinded or assume that it's whatever it is something other than what it actually is. So for instance, here with the moon, this is saying that wait around a little bit for the light to really come through in order for you to really see the full potential or the full downfalls of it, or both, right? Don't just jump on in because it's a desire that you want, or because you're in the lack or in the feeling of lack of something. You want something more. This is saying dig into yourself. Dig in. Look at the strength card. Dig in. Let's see. Can we get the... is that better? Not really. I'm sorry. These reflective cards are beautiful. They were gifted to me. But it's very difficult to see on camera. But this particular card reminds me of a tree. Yes, it is. It's not a tree. It's a leaf, obviously. But look at the moon behind it. Do you see it? Here we have the moon. The moon is, not only is it here 3 times, it was also in pile number 1's card, reading as well. Don't just go by the light of the moon. Not all things can be seen by the light of the moon. Yes, it does give you guidance for sure, because you're able to at least stay in a path, but we want to see the full path and all of its surroundings in order to make the best decision possible to stay grounded where we're at. And not where you're at with a crappy situation or a whether it's a job or a relationship, but within yourself. All right. And sometimes you need to take a step back and be in solitude and do some reflection. And then with the Ravenclaw spirit, the number 6 is always about balance. But here we're talking about trusting in the magic of the world, the magic that is within you. Sometimes we hold on too tightly to things that don't serve us because we might be afraid to jump into something that we want. So do you see how this raven is looking within? It's not looking outward. It's looking within. Trust in the magic that you hold, in your intuition, right? If you are wanting something more, then go for something more. Yes, it might be tempting, but don't listen to other people's guidances. See this person can be leading you astray. But this can also be about you leading yourself astray. Look internally, root yourself, completely root yourself. And then once you've made that decision, trust the magic. Then as far as advice, we have the Moon, Empress, and Emperor. This is amazing. So we have the Moon, again, this is an unforeseen situation. This is a, sometimes I read the Moon as destiny because there is a, it's like a gravitational pull. It's like the universe guiding you towards something that you are meant to do. And sometimes we don't know what those things are or why we're guided that way. And sometimes we give the universe a pushback, right? We push back because we're like, no. So this could be the Moon tempting you, say, hey, try this, do this, remember this. But you have to go within yourself. Use these parameters, right? The parameters of being in solitude and within your strength and allow the magic, right? Let's move these out of the way. The parameters that we see here, you see the parameters? The parameters that we see here are your solitude and your inner strength. Go and find those parameters, what you really want. And then the moon, trust in the magic, okay? That's what this is saying. It can lead you away from what other people think you should or shouldn't do. But these people don't lead your life. You lead your own life. You decide. Whatever it is, I feel like this is you, the Empress. This is you being cautious. You see this Empress, you know, she's not looking like what a regular Empress looks like. Normally the Empress is pregnant and, you know, ready to give birth to something and all of that, because it's about renewal and all of that. Again, very similar to what this pink full moon is bringing for this particular season. So I feel like this is you and your energy. But what I'm getting here, oh, I see a 4-leaf clover. There isn't a 4-leaf clover in this card at all. But this is the first time I ever noticed a 4-leaf clover. And I don't know if you could see it, but it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. I've never noticed that before. And then there is an aura around her. Do you see her aura? It's very similar to the outline of this. It's like you have to be in your own strength, knowing what is right for you, what is going to make you feel balanced energetically, emotionally, spiritually, and cut out the anxieties of, I mean, look at these two feelings completely different. I want, should I, question, 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 right? This one is, I have enough, but I still want more because I deserve more. Period. You're saying the same thing, but you're saying it differently. So there's a shift in mindset here altogether. And then the Emperor is about breaking out of somebody's box and placing your own boundaries. What do you want? And set your own boundaries, not what somebody else wants. What do you want? Period. Right? This can also be about a counterpart, because the Emperor and the Empress are counterparts for sure. I really, really, really like this. All right, we're going to get some advice, not advice, but see what else we can do to help you out here. But the advice here is basically saying, stay within your own parameters. Don't worry about what other people's parameters are. Stay within your own parameters. Have a change in mindset. Not how should I, proceed. Rather, let me rephrase that. Not, I think I want this because I just don't think I have enough and blah, 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 right? Versus, I know I have enough, but I still want this and I deserve this, right? Either way, you're saying that you want something other than what it is you want. You're just saying it in a different manner, in a different mindset, with a different energy, raising your energies that much more. This Emperor is saying, again, I'm going to set my own parameters. I've already set my own parameters within myself and what my guidelines are, so I can make the best decision for myself. Now I'm setting my parameters externally. What should I do? What can I do? So that's your advice. And because everybody's situation is so different, only you can answer those questions. So if you want, listen to this again, get a pen and paper and write that down. What are your own parameters? How can you change your mindset? What verbiage are you using and how can you improve on that verbiage? And once you've gone from there, how can you set your own external boundaries? Bliss. May you feel deeply and transcend. Do you see how she feels blissful? She's like, I know what I need. I know what I want. I'm going to go and do it because I deserve it. Not, I have enough, but I think I want more. Should I do more? Right? This isn't feeling deeply. This is feeling in lack. This is feeling deeply. Okay? Big difference there. Big difference there. All right, we're going to get some cards here. I just noticed there's a moon behind this. You see it right there. There's that 6 again. Remember I said about balance over here? Find your internal balance. Moths are drawn. They go by the guidance of the moon. Here we are. Guidance of the moon. The Magician. Wow. You are able to create whatever it is you want. And we have the 6 of Wands. We have victory. Wow. Listen, once you feel, this is their final message to you. Once you feel that bliss and you're able to transcend this feeling into this feeling, you get your victory, whatever it is you want. Once you get into this motion, you're able to co-create with the universe. That means that you'll find yourself in balance. Once you feel this, you'll find yourself in balance so that you're able to get into the right mindset to start manifesting and co-creating with the universe. You have the ability, you have all of the tools to manifest this. Now you just have to get in line with that and do that. And then once you do, here's a moth, another moth. And okay, I know that this belongs to pile 1. Remember I said you might resonate with pile 1? Look at this. Tell me that does not look similar. Once you co-create, this will come into a reality. You'll have your victory. You will be looked upon. You will be cheered, whether it's being cheered by somebody else or being cheered by the universe or being cheered by not by others looking at you, but by you saying, you know what? I'm so glad I did that. I am proud of myself for getting out of somebody else's box and moving towards what I want. And that in itself is a victory. But I feel like it's flourishing this season. But during this full moon, it's time to take action to get out of your head. Write down whatever you wrote down or whatever your ideas and thoughts were for the new moon in earlier on this month of March, or not this month, but in March. whatever that was, now it's time to really get going onto it. If you didn't set any proclamations or whatever, that's fine. Now it's time to set intentions. How do you want to move forward in life? What do you want this season to look like for you? Okay, that's what this is saying. But once you do transcend these emotions and you find your balance, you're able to manifest better because you are in better alignment with the universe and this victory comes along. All right, whether it's this counterpart or just something that makes you feel abundant and feel free, break free out of whatever rigidness that is happening in your life. All right. I would also be mindful of people who might be jealous because, and so protect your energies because sometimes with the Six of Wands, there's somebody in the crowd that might be a little bit on the envious side. It's not here on this particular card. So normally I don't say it with this card, but Spirit just pointed it out. So I should say it. And also they also wanted for me to reiterate about the nervous system. So anxieties and such. So be mindful of those anxieties and try to release those as much as possible. Please check out if you choose to. You certainly don't have to. Please check out the meditation that I have online to balancing out all of the chakras. All right, my darlings. Until we meet again, this was your reading pile number 2. I hope something did resonate and you got something out of it. Best of luck this particular season. All seasons, of course, but this particular season's where there's a lot of growth that's happening. All right, my dear ones, bye. Hello, pile number 3. You have chosen the rose quartz. There it is. And let me move these out of the way here. And the rose quartz, normally it's about, love and relationships and bringing that into harmony. But this also encourages trust and just unconditional love, not only towards others, but towards self. Yes, it can certainly be about romantic love for sure. But I feel like during a lot of uncertain times, we forget to love ourselves and trust ourselves and be in tune with ourselves and what our specific needs are to strengthen our own abilities, strengthen our connectiveness with ourselves. All right. Let's take a look at what these cards are for. Or what these cards are for, what these cards are. Ace of Cups. Okay. A lot of emotional abundance so far. No, that's not it. It's this one. I'm sorry. All right. Oh, you got 2 of these. Transformation and divination. Whoa. Okay. Into the unknown. Ancestors. Lion spirit. King of Wands. 4 of Cups. Page of Cups. Wow. Okay. Pile number 3. As I mentioned in pile 1 and 2, I did bring down the camera a little bit so you're able to see the cards a little bit better. All right, let's talk about what we have going on here. What new things are coming for you? Right off the bat, I'm seeing definite transformation, but I'm seeing a lot of emotional, a lot of emotion, like transformation emotionally, because we have the Ace of Cups, the Four of Cups, and the Page of Cups. So just with these two alone, it's like there's something new emotionally that's happening here. What I'm getting from this Ace of Cups is that you are now awakened to what you deserve emotionally. And whatever it is you're doing, if it doesn't provide the emotional necessities, what your requirements are, then I feel you're just going to say, you know what? I can't deal with that nonsense. I want something stable. And if you can't provide me that emotional stability that I am in need of, then I'm just going to walk away and I'm going to have to say no thank you, because I deserve something that brings me a sense of stability emotionally here. This could be a person, this could be a work relationship, whatever it is that is not bringing you a sense of what you know you are worth, and it's causing some sort of upheaval internally, and you might be struggling with this, that's what this is, I feel, is going to be about. Let's see what the rest of the cards say. Transformation. This fairy tells you to surrender to a transformation in your life that's happening for your highest good. Embrace your transformation. The best is yet to come. Well, I like this card a lot. Look how joyful she is. Look how at peace she is and how happy. It's giving me like a Six of Cups energy. You know, that youthful energy where sometimes we kind of go back into ourselves and go, that was fun. Why don't I do more of that? I really like this card. I'm also getting a sense of you getting back into a feminine energy. With this rose quartz, specifically in combination with this, what I'm getting and what I'm picking up here is that if you're going, again, through some emotional upheaval, whether you're going through that awkward stage of moving on from after giving birth, or the menopause or premenopause or whatever that is, this is saying to strengthen your empathy towards yourself, accept all the changes that are going in your life. They might be a little uncomfortable, but you got here for a reason, all right? You have to go through all these uncomfortable changes for a reason. Now, all of you, especially if you are male, might not be going through that. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that you might not be going through some sort of midlife crisis or a shakedown of your internal clock. You know, sometimes we get into that state where we're like, oh no, I've gotten this far in life and I haven't done XYZ, right? Something that you thought of back in your past where you thought, oh, I'd be here and here and here at this point, and I'm not there, right? I feel like that's why I'm getting this Six of Cups energy here, where, you know, you might be feeling, maybe reminiscing a little bit about what you thought life was going to be like versus what life is now. And with this rose quartz, it's just about being empathetic with yourself. Just because we plan for things doesn't necessarily mean that that's where life is going to take us, right? Be kind to yourself. And there, no matter where you are in your life, whether you're 17 or 67, 77, whatever, doesn't matter. The point is 97. The point is that you're still alive. You're still breathing. You're still able to work with these energies. Then we have divination. Embrace your powers of divination, which are especially strong right now. You have the ability to see your current situation with crystal clear clarity. Again, I feel like these two are kind of working together. I feel like maybe, you are going through some sort of emotional turmoil that has caused you to shake things up a little bit internally and go, oh, wow, I really need to redirect my life in a different path, because what was working for me isn't working any longer. And I apologize, there's a helicopter overhead right now. There's a hospital nearby, so some people get airlifted to the hospital. That's what I'm seeing here with these two particular cards. And with this divination card, I'm getting a strong sense of, we were talking about the foam. The moon has actually come out in every single deck in different, actually the actual moon, the moon card has actually come out. But in yours, it came out here, all of them, but then we have the full moon here, right? You have to go through phases in order to get here. And funny enough, that's what we're talking about, transformation. You have to go through life. The best is yet to come, right? And I'm also going to point out, I know that this is an all-seeing like crystal ball, but look at the similarity, right? That didn't have to be there. This card did not have to come out. And then of course we have the moon right back there on the ancestors card as well, which I will show you here in a second. But I feel like this is really saying, get back in touch with yourself and allow for your true self to come back. Realign your energies and be in harmony with yourself. Trust yourself and love yourself unconditionally here with this rose quartz. And then once you have that, state that out to the universe. What do you want? What do you want? What kind of transformation is it that you're looking for with these cards right here? Now, as far as what we can do to work with it, we have Into the Unknown. And yes, I am singing Frozen 2's song, Into the Unknown, in my head. I won't do it out loud. I won't hurt your ears, I promise. Do you see the bird? Spirit is always guiding you. You don't have to see, you just have to feel. Spirit is guiding you. Divination, okay? The Ancestors card. These glares, I'm sorry. I don't know if you can see that properly, but there's the Ancestors card and another moon back here. And what I'm getting here, this card did not come out in pile number 2, but a similar card came out where you're rooted, right? I feel like this is really saying, go into the unknown, knowing who you are. Being grounded into who you are, regardless of if you don't even know where you're actually headed towards, but you know instinctually that that's where you have to go. Sometimes That's interesting. There's a heart there. I never noticed that. I was drawn to that. Do you see it right there? I was just drawn to that. I have never noticed that in this card. Be rooted into yourself. Not into what other people's needs are, what other people expect of you, what you used to do, what you used to be. None of that matters. What do you feel like right now? What are you rooted in? If you're not rooted into yourself, in being in harmony with yourself, then how can you move forward? Then we have Lion Spirit, which is number 37, adding up to 10. A change is required for a new beginning to occur. Be generous of spirit. And I feel like this is really talking about being generous with yourself, being generous with your own spirit. We have to go through life giving to ourselves. You can't just give freely to everybody else while depleting your energies. You've got to keep filling up your cup here with the Ace of Cups. You have to continuously fill up your cup. Take time out to be generous to yourself. Not saying be greedy, but yes, be greedy at the same time. You know, there is a time to give, and there's also a time to give to yourself. Okay? You cannot give all of you and be absolutely depleted of your energies, of your heart, of your trust. If you trust others, but you don't trust yourself, you are depleting that. You don't have enough for yourself, enough trust for yourself to look inward. If you are giving your time and money to other people, but you don't set time and money to the side to give to yourself, you are depleting those energies, and you aren't able to really to transform and go deeper into yourself, right? So that's how you can work with your energies here. Now, advice. King of Wands, Four of Cups, and Page of Cups. King of Wands, Four of Cups, Page of Cups. Spirit is saying here, stay in your king energy, male, female. Don't worry about that. It's just an energy. This is about staying strong within yourself, right? King, lion, okay? Staying strong, rooted in yourself. Stay in a youthful energy. Stay in a creative energy, but root in yourself. You are a king. You're not a page, right? You are a king. Again, male, female. This is not gender specific. This is just about you standing in your own power, knowing that you are royalty and you don't bow down to others. You only bow down to the Almighty, and knowing that, you know, that there are things in place that you are not aware of, but you don't go by other people's guidances. You go by your own guidance and you listen to spirit. Okay? Stay regal, my friends. The Four of Cups here is saying, if you stay in this energy, an offer is coming in. An offer is coming in. Right? Remember we talked about what was coming in? Emotional balance. Something that's going to make you emotionally fulfilled. What it is, it's unknown. We have the moon. But right now, what I'm seeing is, it was clear in pile number 1 and pile number 2. So I'll see if I can get another card for this one to get a better idea of what that is. but I feel like it's going to be an offer of love, right? Something that's going to bring you emotional stability with this Four of Cups. And then, of course, we have the Page of Cups, which can for sure be a new beginning, a new offer of love. Doesn't necessarily have to be, but it's going to be something that brings you emotional stability. And that's what we've been talking about this whole time. Okay, we'll get one of these. No, they want this one. Okay. It's weird that they want this one. But okay, I'll do it. All right, what is this Ace of Cups here for? What is coming new for pile number 3? Seven of Wands. This is protecting your energies. This is defending yourself. Protecting your energies. Allowing yourself to get into your own specific energy and not allowing somebody else tell you what that's supposed to look like, right? So for instance, let's say you're going through some sort of emotional imbalance right now. Let's say you've lost somebody, or you lost a job, or you lost your sense of self, or you lost your ability to really be in touch with yourself because you feel older. You're in an older state, or you're at a state, not necessarily older state, but where you are right now, number wise, in age, you don't feel aligned that you have accomplished what the outer world is stating you should be at, right? Let's say, for instance, Spirit just told me to say this. For instance, you're 62 and you want to retire at 65, but right now your finances aren't stating that you're able to. And you're kind of freaking out a little bit about it, right? This is saying, listen, you're not going to tell me what I'm going to do or not going to do. I'm going to defend my energies. I'm going to defend what my stance is, what decisions I made to this point, because it's led me to where I am right now. And I had to make those decisions for XYZ. And this is going to help you feel better about why you are where you are. And it also allows you, because sometimes people gossip, and this can be about, this rose quartz can sometimes be about you loving yourself enough and putting up that protective wall around you, where when people gossip, you say, you know what, you don't know my full story. So please don't even bother talking to me about why I am where I am. Be respectful enough to actually ask questions if you are interested. Just don't make assumptions, right? You could say it kindly. You don't have to be rude about it or anything, but you can defend your stance. And remember, you actually don't have to defend your stance to anybody. If you choose to do so, feel free. The only one you have to answer is to yourself, okay? You're the one that lives your life, nobody else. Courageous. May each breaking wave build your courage. I feel like this is they wanted me to pull this one. I don't know why, but held. May you feel the ocean's caress. This is talking about you being brave enough to break out of something, whether it's your mindset, out of a situation, whatever that is, but know that Spirit's got you into the unknown. Spirit's got you. Know that you're held. Know that whatever, see, look at all this crashing, and then look at this smoothness. This is saying whatever's coming out of you, be brave through it all. Have this energy, be grounded in yourself enough but know that Spirit's got you. And while you're going through all of that, know that Spirit has you. They've got you. Spirit is also saying to revisit this lion spirit. Not only be generous with your own spirit, be generous and grateful for the spirits that you have. Speak with them so that they can show you and give you better guidance. Here's a celebration. Celebrate yourself. The past decisions that you have made because you had to make them. And sometimes you had to make them blindly because you don't know where, you know, from one decision to the next, you don't know where it's going to lead you, but you have to make the decisions with the information that you had. And you might not have had all of the information, but you did what you had to do. They want one more. This one? Okay. They also wanted me to get that, so there it is. Listen. And I feel like this lovers isn't necessary. I mean, it could definitely be about somebody new, for sure. But I feel like this is more about choices and decisions that you've made, right? Because what this is saying here is that, and this is just an additional message from Spirit. And this is saying celebrate yourself. Celebrate all the decisions that you've made, blindly or unblindly. The point is that you had to do things because you didn't really have much of a choice at times, right? And you had to jump because this reminds me of fire up here. It reminds me of the tower where you have the tower and then the crown is kind of spilling out. And, you know, there's somebody falling off of it. This Fool card is giving me tower energy, which to me is saying you made the best decision possible. You made a calculated risk, right? Decision possible, and you jumped because of things that were out of your circumstances, out of your control, right? With a tower situation. I know that this is not the tower. I know that this is the Fool. However, I am getting tower energy coming through here very clearly. Then we have the Hangman. Yes, you might have you might have had moments where you pondered, why did you make that decision? And you might have been hard on yourself for making those decisions. But the reality is that sometimes you have to make those decisions blindly. And you can't be hard on yourself about something that you were unaware of. You had to make the best decision possible for what you had. So for instance, sometimes when we have children, oh, by the way, did you like my nails? My daughter painted these for me. I know, it's her first time painting them. I think she did a really good job. She's 9. So this is talking about sometimes you have to take that moment and say, you know what? I did the best that I could with what I had. Sometimes when we have children, you know, we make decisions that we feel are the best decision possible at that time for them. What's actually going to happen? Who knows? There's so many other factors that we can't calculate within this decision making because they're unknowns, right? So celebrate the fact that you got through turmoil regardless of where you are now, you got to where you are because you went through all of this. Celebrate it. Believe that you did the best that you could with what you had. And you did it because you had to. Yes, right now, you know, or afterwards, maybe you did sit there and ponder. But the reality is that you made the best choice you possibly could with what you had. Okay? That's what I'm getting here. They want another card. Your reading has gone a little bit further than, or a little bit longer than the rest, but Spirit wants me to continue, so I continue. 8 of Wands. So whatever change is happening is happening currently, I feel. I feel like some sort of communication is going to be coming in. This might have to do with this Lovers situation. Or this could also be about you coming into your own energies a lot faster than you expect. This Ace of Cups can be coming in faster. This offer of trust. And if this is a new love, you will defend it. It might be secret. It might be something that you want to keep on the down low, only because you want to be sure before you present it out to anybody. All right. What else is coming for pile number 3? 9 of Wands. Look at you building. Look at you building. All right. So, and your strength. Didn't I tell you? You have to find your inner strength with this, ancestors. Root yourself. You will find your inner strength. You find your inner strength by being generous with yourself, being kind to yourself. Look at her embracing this lion. Normally, she has her hand inside the lion's mouth, but here she's just loving on the lion, saying, you know what, I trust you enough to hold you, and you're not going to do anything to me. I trust you. This is the kind of energy you need to have with yourself. Trust yourself, and that's what we talked about here. Because when you do that, you're able to bring in this new emotional stability and coming in line with yourself, which I feel will be coming in quickly with this 8 of Wands or some sort of communication here. But you are able to build with everything that you've gone through. Use that to your advantage. Use it to your advantage. Build with what you have, and you're going to get to the top of that mountain. All right, pile number 3. This was your full moon, pink moon reading that occurs on April 5th onto April 6th at 12:34 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So don't forget to wear pink. All right, my darlings. Bye.